gotta say, I'm not down with how you're acting as of late. I pray it's just a phase. See, I hate the way you make me out to be some kind of fake, and still you're wearing different faces day to day. What should I do? I sure as hell won't leave it up to you. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. Oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. So this is it. We've reached a fork in the road. It's hard to leave you behind with hello playing on the radio. There's nothing left to lose when there's nothing left of you. Metaphorically, of course, I hope you know I'm going it alone. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. Oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. The things they know, what you're all about till your true colors show. To have the things you lack, cause I won't wait around for you to stab me in the back. Someone to help you chase your dreams, cause no one else is enough it seems. Another city, another state, and here's the truth, let's get it straight. Another world, a different place, I'm saying I don't wanna see your face. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. I gotta say, I'm not down with how you're acting as of late. I pray it's just a phase. See, I hate the way you make me out to be some kind of fake, and still you're wearing different faces day to day. What should I do? I sure as hell won't leave it up to you. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. Oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. So this is it. We've reached a fork in the road. It's hard to leave you behind with hello playing on the radio. There's nothing left to lose when there's nothing left of you. Metaphorically, of course, I hope you know I'm going it alone. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. Oh, oh, oh. you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. Go, oh, oh, find somebody else. I gotta say, I'm not down with how you're acting as of late. I pray it's just a phase. See, I hate the way you make me out to be some kind of fake, and still you're wearing different faces day to day. What should I do? I sure as hell won't leave it up to you. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. Oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. So this is it. We've reached a fork in the road. It's hard to leave you behind with hello playing on the radio. There's nothing left to lose when there's nothing left of you. Metaphorically, of course, I hope you know I'm going it alone. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. Oh, oh, oh. Go, oh, 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 find somebody else. The things they know, what you're all about till your true colors show. To have the things you lack a lot, cause I won't wait around for you to stab me in the back. Someone to help you chase your dreams, cause no one else is enough it seems. Another city, another state, and here's the truth, let's get it straight. Another world, a different place, I'm saying I don't wanna see your face. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. You know me all too well, and you use that information to keep bringing me down. Yeah, you're bringing me down, that's why I'm leaving you here. I hope you're doing swell, but you're just the kind of person I can't stand to be around anymore. Goodbye, au revoir, you get the point now. Go, oh, oh, oh. Go.
What's up, Indies? Welcome to another Indies Live Wednesday. I'm super pumped to be here with you guys. I'm going to hang around for a moment to wait and see who's going to be here. Let me know if you're here in the chat. I'm super stoked to go over any questions that you guys have in this little audit session. If you need me to look at anything, happy to be your second set of eyes and give you our thoughts and ideas on what you're working on. So I'm stoked to see what you guys have happening and hear about what you have going on in the world of your music. It's always a joy to do these Indies Lives with you guys. So let me know if you're here. Let me know if you can hear me, and we'll kick this thing off. I'm going to take a look and see what we've got going on in the comments today. Let's see what's happening here. Hey Guy, what's up, man? I see your comment at the bottom here. I'm stoked to look at your album experience. Good stuff, man. Thanks for putting it in the comments, and thanks for being here. Cool. So I'm gonna hang, like I said. Barry, what's up, man? How are you? What's going on? I hope your week's been good. So yeah, let me know. Like you guys can always put something in the comments if you've got things that you want to go over, or if you want to just drop me something in the live chat. Um, I'd be happy to take a look. Let me know if you guys have any questions about things that you're working on. Happy to help. Dylan, what's up, man? Everything's going great here. Thanks for asking. It's good to meet you too. And thanks for letting me know that you can hear me. That's rad. I'm stoked to have you guys here. It's awesome. It's always good when people come and hang out. Indies Live is always a good time. I've got my coffee. I hope you guys do too. Cool, so let's dive right into it. I'm gonna look and take on the comments first. So if you've got anything that you want to put in there, feel free. Like I said, you can drop it in the live chat as well. I'll go back and forth between the two. But I'm gonna kick off here with a question from Guy, who's on Indies Live with us right now. And Guy said, "Hey Jack, I'd love some input on my album experience opt-in page. Also, here's day one of the experience. Any ways I could improve it? Appreciate it. Thanks, Guy." Cool. Sounds good, man. Let's dive right into it and see what you've got going on. So I'm going to open this up and see if I can share my screen with y'all as well, so that we can look at it together. So let's see what we've got happening here. Turn my sound up a little bit so I can check out any of the content on the page. And we'll move into OBS and do the screen share. Get this out of here. Cool. All right, can you guys see my screen okay? Let me know. Should be happening. Cool. All right, let's take a look at Guy's album launch opt-in page and his content pages. So it looks like is the artist name Gyu or GYU? Either way, cool variation on your name, man. I dig it. Let's see here. So get the album, got your logo up there. Get my entire new album for free. Even though good music is vital, a party is only good as the people there. That's why I want to invite you to something a bit different. Sentience album experience. Cool. Let me check out the video.
Okay, nice one for clicking the link. All you got to do to get the album experience is put in your email address. As I said before, I'm really quite happy with it. I really think you will enjoy it. It's not just some tracks. It's really the stories behind the tracks, the stories behind what I do, why I do it. And there's plenty of opportunity for us to have a two-way conversation. It's not just going to be me talking. It's going to be more of a dialogue, hopefully. You'll get high-quality versions of the tracks. You get WAV or MP3 or streaming, so you can experience the album how you want to experience it, basically. And you'll get extra videos. There's some Easter eggs in there I've chucked in, if you can find them. Cool stories about my old days, back when I was a raver, putting on raves, getting in trouble with the police. And yeah, I think it's just fun. I think it's cool, and I do think you'll enjoy it. So just pop in your email address, and I'll see you very soon. Nice one. Cheers.
Cool. I dig the video, Guy. Good stuff, man. So a couple thoughts on the look of your squeeze page here. One, just, I don't know if this is something that you haven't plugged in yet, but the countdown isn't working just yet. In terms of the actual look and feel of the page, I like how you're kind of going with your sort of neon colors here. I noticed that was in your content page as well. I took a peek before I hopped in to Indies Live, but I think something that might help is I kind of lose the text a little bit in the blue, the bright blue on the white background, and this lighter gray background. So something to think about might be to use a darker background, something of a darker gray or closer to a black in the background as opposed to white here would probably help it stand out more. And I think another thing, I kind of lose the text here in the get my entire new album for free, I kind of lose that text here with the background image of your studio. So again, I think using a darker background will really help this headline here pop and your sub headline pop as well. I can see you kind of did that behind the sub headline, but I think swapping out the photo background with just a solid color, maybe a dark gradient, would be a good way to kind of mitigate that issue. And then people can see the background of your studio behind you here in the video that you've got going on. Something you could do is you could change the color of the button text to your super neon blue, and then use a black get the album here. Just some branding ideas to kind of help the page come together. Those are just some things that come to mind first and foremost. I think, yeah, like I said, making the text pop off the background, the white kind of makes it difficult to do that. So something to think about there. I like your description here. What is dance music about? Is it just about the sounds themselves, or is it about more about the clubs, the raves, the people, the atmosphere? I think it's the second one. So I've created a way of releasing an album which is about so much more than the music itself. We've all had them transcendent experiences on the dance floor or at parties where it's hard to talk about unless you've had them. This is a chance for us to connect to music together and not alone, and to share the experiences and our past ones. I made a 3-part story of one of the best nights of my life at a free party in Bristol, which started with a rave getting busted by the cops and me getting escorted to Bristol's main police station. So that's a really cool description, man. I think you've got a big opportunity here to kind of brand this whole launch around that idea of the rave. So what I was thinking was, when I read this sub headline here, even though good music is vital, a party is only as good as the people there. That's why I want to invite you to something a bit different. I think with your sub headline, you'd be at an advantage to explain exactly what it is they get in this rave experience that you're putting together. So I think, get my new album for free in an online interactive rave or something like that, or get my new album for free in an exclusive 3-day online rave. That could be something that would really catch people's attention, and then go into here in your sub headline. Good music is vital. That's why in this experience I'm going to give you my new record for free, along with bonus content, videos from behind the scenes at raves and parties that I've been a part of, the making behind the music in the studio, Easter eggs, everything that you kind of went into this video, you can detail it in this sub headline here. I think that would be really helpful to give people who are seeing the headline and seeing the sub headline either reason to just say, okay, I want it, and click the opt-in button right away, or to go down and continue to check out your video and check out the testimonial here that you have from Igloo, and your description here, which is really, really solid. I think the description really sells it. So if you can take some of that meat, the meat and potatoes of that description, and pull that into your headline and your sub headline, I think you'll be in a great spot. So let me know if that makes sense. I'm going to take a peek at the comment page here. Yeah, let me know if that makes sense, man. Those are a couple ideas from my mind. I think like I said, I think you've got a really cool angle to work with here in creating your album experience. Taking people on the journey of this, 3-night rave. I think that could be, or the 3-part rave throughout the course of this night. So, your kind of experience could be something like day 1 is doors open. Day 2 could be lights down. Day 3 could be music up, or something like that. Just some ideas to kick around as you're kind of working through this and branding it to be yours. I think it's just, you can get really, really creative. So yeah, a couple cool ideas there, man. I hope that's helpful. Let's take a look at your day 1 here. Back to mine, day 1. Welcome to day 1. You might be wondering exactly what you've signed up for. Each day you'll get a link to a page like this. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's just double check real quickly here. I want to take a look and make sure that this is all good in terms of how it looks on mobile. Sorry, I'm kind of skipping around here. Oh, the timer's working on mobile, which is weird. Yeah, one other thing, I think you can see here the timer is kind of obscuring the get the album button here in mobile optimization. So I would say, if possible, um, try to get that button so that it's not blocked by the timer, and obviously so that it's above the fold. It would be good to go if that timer is not blocking it. So something to check into there. But yeah, otherwise, um, same kind of thing here. I think this darker blue does work well on the white background, so that could be another pivot as well if you didn't want to go to a dark background. Just some things to think about there. But yeah, looks good, man. Good stuff on the opt-in page. Let me know if that's helpful, and if you have any ideas that you want to kick around here, just drop them in the chat, and we can talk about it. But let's take a look here at your day one. I definitely dig the explanation that you have here. Something that I often recommend when I do album launch audits is, going into giving people a layout of what each section of the content pages looks like. So you kind of do that here. You say each day you'll get a link to a page like this with 2 tracks of the album, the Sentience record, Wave MP3 download, and streaming. You'll also get the backstory about each track, my musical influences, and my days in the Bristol free party scene. So what could be cool is you could say each day, first on each day, you'll get a link to a page like this with 2 tracks from the album. Then in the next section, I'll give you a video that goes over the backstory about each track. If it's a video, or if it's a story like typed out, you could say that. That goes into my musical influences and my days, and a story from my day in the Bristol free party scene and what happened on in this particular part of the rave. There's a comment section at the bottom of each place, so please tell me your stories, influences, thoughts. I'd love to hear them. So that's cool. You've got your day one video here. Let's check it out.
Hi, welcome to this album experience. You might be wondering what it is. So basically, I've made this album, and instead of just putting it out on iTunes or Spotify for people to listen to, I want to make it a much more interactive experience. So I've prepared all these pages with like inspiration behind tracks, stories, how I got into music, why I do the kind of music I do, where I'm coming from, and also with space for you to interact with me, let me know like what you think, tell me your stories, so that instead of being like this one-way thing from me out, it's like this two-way dialogue between us. Okay, so I'm really excited about it. I really hope you enjoy it. So check out today's page. I've got a video about some of my influences. I talk about the great Leftfield, who are massively inspirational for me, and how that's influenced the first track on the...
Yeah, this is cool, man. This video is really good. I think it goes into a lot of what I was talking about here in the description section. Actually, I think based on watching this, I think you could actually redo your opt-in video to get a little more specific, because you kind of go on in the opt-in video and you're like, yeah, I think this is going to be pretty cool, and I think you're going to like it, but you don't really go into what it is, and I think you do that really well in this video. So kind of condensing that and pushing people in the same way that you did in the opt-in video, to say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, this is what it's going to have in it, and then click the link below to get it, and I'll send you the first day of the rave. You could kind of model, so taking what you did in the opt-in video now and taking what you talked about in this day one, sort of mashing them into one, it could give you a really cool new revised opt-in video. So just a thought based on watching that. Let me know if that helps. Cool. Influences. Oh, this is dope. So it looks like you go into Ableton here.
I just heard this tiny bit dated now in some ways, but also world, it made this space. So let's just have a little listen.
Yeah, this is great, man. I think the people that are particularly into electronic music will dig going into this and getting your sort of take on things and why it influenced you. So that's a really cool video. I'd love to know what kind of cool music art inspires you. So let me know in the comments. It's cool that you're kind of reiterating that call to action there. That's perfect. You got the music here, Spheres and El Medano. Very cool. That looks good. So you've got the, oh, this is a cool video. Yeah. So I don't know if this was actually you making it in real time, but whether it is or not, it's great. Yeah, this is super cool. I dig it. Something that could be cool would be to go into, you know, what each song makes you feel when you listen to it and when you were creating it, and then asking your, prompting your audience to say, when you listen to this, what does it make you feel? What I was going for was this kind of feel. I was hoping that my listeners would feel like they were in a desert or something like that, or putting them in a specific kind of mood. So you can kind of set the frame for your listeners to kind of let them explore where the music takes them, where that journey takes them. Could be cool. So yeah, just something to think about there. I think you could go into that. Cool with the links. That looks great. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed everything today. Join me tomorrow for 2 more tracks and a vlog about coming this close to being arrested back in my rave days. Cool. What you could do here is you could say, it's a pretty wild story. Let me know what you liked about today in the comments, and let me know about your wildest story. So it's just kind of one more call to action to get them to leave a comment. I think that could be a really cool way to just sort of give them another push to interact and engage with you. So yeah, man, I think that overall this is a really, really great start. You've got a lot of cool stuff happening. I think that there's tons of room for creativity in what you're doing, but I love the look of it so far. I hope that this gave you some ideas. Let me know if this helps. I'm going to look at your comments here. Great, thanks. Do you mean some bullet points underneath the subheading? On the opt-in page, what I meant was just revamp the subheading to, rather than have bullet points under it, just revamp it to really underline what's going to be in the launch. So make the sub headline the place where you tell people what they're going to get. So it's not just the fact that that you're doing something different and leaving it mysterious. Spell out explicitly what they're going to get in the sub headline, and it doesn't have to be long, like a long explanation. Just you're going to get my music. You're going to get behind the scenes looks at the production behind the tracks. You're going to get looks at what influenced each track in a cool video. You're going to get stories behind the songs, and we're going to go on a 3-day rave bender together. That's the kind of thing that you could go with in the sub headline. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm glad that it was helpful. Maybe the video on day 1 would work better on or added to the squeeze page. Yeah, so what I was thinking was just revamp the squeeze page video. I think taking some of the points that you mentioned in day 1 and redoing the squeeze page video with that same kind of feel, because in the squeeze page video you seemed a little like nebulous on what you were getting at, where in day 1 you seemed really confident, and it was just like, oh, I got them here, so like, let's make this a badass video. I think you can take that same kind of energy and those same explanations and put them into the opt-in video, and you'll be all set. But yeah, man, hopefully that helps. I think you've got a lot to work with here. It's really, really cool. So yeah, let me know if that helps. I'm going to unshare my screen for the moment and see if we've got any more comments happen. I'm just going to refresh my page. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any ideas for Guy, give him a heads up. I kind of like to, as you know, if you've been on Indies Live with me before, I really like to get the communication going, not just from me to you, but from you to me, and for all of us in the room here together. I think it's important that we collaborate on ideas. That's what this is all about. So if you guys have any ideas for Guy, let him know. Hit him in the chat here, and we'll keep going. And Guy, if you have any other questions, man, let me know. But I think that's all we have in the comments for the moment. What else are you guys working on? Give me a heads up. Dylan, do you have anything that you're working on? Or Barry, are you guys working on anything? Give me a heads up if you need anything. Happy to answer your questions. We'll keep hanging on here, but if not, we can hang for a little bit, and then we can call it an early Indies Live if we don't have anything else to go over. Guy, no problem, man. I'm glad that it was helpful. I'm stoked to see what you're working on. Keep us in the loop in the Indies group, and I'll be keeping an eye out for it. It's good stuff. Hey, Katie, how are you? Glad you made it. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want me to take a look at anything. More than happy to help, and give you some ideas. Really liked your influences video, Guy. Yeah, man, that was really, really cool. I think that was like a super good connecting point with what it is that you're doing and the music that you're making. So yeah, Barry, I totally agree with you there. Really, really cool. Let's just refresh this page. So this might be a good time to just discuss and give you guys a heads up. It was 2 Indies Lives ago, I did a ground report, and we specifically talked about permission campaigns. So album launch is an example of a permission campaign, right? We're getting people's opt-in, and then we're bringing them through. We're getting people's opt-in for some sort of bribe. In this case, it's the record and all of the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes with it. But in that ground report, I went over a few different permission campaigns that we're testing and using and running at the agency. And this is probably a good time to bring up again and kind of reiterate, just based on what we were going over with Guy here, just how, creating a permission campaign it's about getting creative. That's really the most important part, and that was what I was kind of trying to go into with Guy here. How he's got this cool idea of like, hey, I got arrested at a rave, and so like his whole album launch experience could really be branded around this idea of like it being like an online rave experience with his fans. You can kind of break the mold of just like, oh, it's a 5-day or a 3-day or a 7-day interactive experience. You can take it and really mold it into something that's your own, and that's really what I was getting at on ground report. When it comes to an album launch, or when it comes to any other kind of permission campaign, some of the other ones that we were talking about were like an exclusive single that you can't get anywhere else, like a secret song or a forbidden track type of permission campaign. Again, it's just about getting creative and framing it in a way that's going to give people enough value and enough of a bribe that's going to get their contact info. Same with I know of another indie that is using a video, a behind the scenes video, like a live video series as his permission campaign in ManyChat. And the way that he was running it was they did a series of live tracks from their album where they recorded them in like this sick warehouse, and looks really, really cool. And they were going to release them to their audience, just on Facebook and on YouTube, drip them out. But their permission campaign was, we did these videos, we want to give them to you guys, our biggest fans, before anybody else in the world gets them. So they bring them through and drip them out over the course of 5 days. So the lead magnet there is these behind the scenes videos. So you can kind of see what I'm saying here. It's when you want to build a permission campaign, whether it's an album launch or any other kind of permission campaign within the buddy system, it's just about using your noggin a little bit and getting creative in what you offer. So I figured this would be a good time to kind of reiterate. I love to see how you guys are getting creative, and I see it all the time in the Indies group on Facebook. People posting about their album launches and what they're working on. So Guy is a great example here, I think, of someone who is pushing the boundaries of what it can look like. The 502s are a really good example of an artist that did a band that did a cool album launch branded around this idea of a party. They branded their whole album launch around a party, and each day was a different hour in the party. So like there was like people are showing up, people are hanging out, there's a band playing, they're going outside, they're drinking beers, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and the party's ending and people are passing out. There was this whole kind of narrative that they built. So it's really, really cool. Cool. I see you guys talking about Massive Attack. I don't know anything about Massive Attack, but I know that they are a kind of like an electronic sort of group. That's cool. Good stuff. Katie, I'm gonna start building an album launch, so I'm definitely gonna need some pointers there soon. Cool. Well, what's your number one question that you have about it right now, Katie? I know it's a daunting kind of process that you go through. So. Let me know if you have any immediate questions as you've just started to think about it, and we could talk about them today to get you on the path. I'm gonna just refresh the page here, see if we got any more comments. I don't think we do. Nope, nothing yet. Cool. All right. Yeah, there's no other comments down here. So if you guys have any other questions or anything comes to mind on what you're working on, let me know in the chat. We can hang for a few more, but otherwise, we could call it an early Indies Live. This has been tight. I really enjoyed going through Guy's launch and kicking around some ideas together. But yeah, drop me any questions or anything that you need looked at in the chat, and we can keep going over them. Otherwise, I will turn y'all loose to the world and to kick forward with your music marketing. Katie said, my current sticking point is picking an album release date. Then everything else can start getting locked in. Gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely a big sticking point. My pointer for you there, Katie, would be itemizing out what it is that you need to get in line before you set a release date. That way you can kind of reverse engineer when your release date is going to be. It's a big question that we have with tons of indies in the group and also at agency is when do we launch a campaign, whether it be an album launch or whatever. I think the best way to set something up and to set yourself up for success is kind of to look at all the things that need to be done, setting some timelines based on those smaller pieces. So if it's building out the opt-in and thank you pages, if it's building out the content pages, if you're working on all of that and you can kind of itemize out when you think you can get those things done and setting timelines for the smaller pieces, then you can kind of look at and say, okay, well, I can start running fan finder traffic. I can start doing all of these pieces while that's happening and I'm building up top of funnel awareness. And that way you have like a little bit of a timeline for yourself, and then you can pick your launch day based on that timetable, and it sort of gives you room to, you can give yourself room to, you know, slow down or if you hit any sticking points. But I would say as much as you can do ahead of time before setting that launch date, it will keep you from getting in a place of like, oh crap, I'm not done and my album is supposed to launch tomorrow, or I started collecting opt-ins and I'm not ready to start launching. You know, it kind of minimizes that risk for you where you might get stuck. Let me know if that helps at all. That's something that I often recommend, is try to put together a timetable of what you can be doing for yourself, what your team can be doing with you, and that way you can kind of break it into smaller chunks and then set the album release date based on that. Guy said, yeah, I'd almost be tempted to set the album date last after setting everything up. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I'm saying. I think that there's benefit to, you know, picking a day and setting it, just because it keeps you from getting stuck in the weeds of not doing things. But there's risk to that as well. You know, you don't want to set a date for yourself and you don't want to set a date for yourself and then not be able to stick to it, but you don't want to not set a date at all. So yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm recommending here is figure out the dates of everything that you need to get done and kind of set deadlines for those smaller pieces and break it up into manageable chunks. You can also look at in the Ultimate Album Launch training. In the Ultimate Album Launch training, there's an Excel template for what your launch should look like, and you can kind of fashion it out that way. Now that happens. That's not a template that factors in the setup of things, but it would help you to, you know, at least itemize like how many days pre-release emails are going out, how many days post opt-in emails are going out, so the actual launch days, how many days post-launch offer exposure emails are going out, and kind of the whole cycle once the pre-release stage happens. So you could probably use that and sort of fashion the rest of the back end setup around that. A lot of times, what we recommend is, you know, like give yourself 3 months to set things up and really, you know, get the back end happening and locked and loaded. A lot of times that's kind of like a good amount of time if you're able to spend it on setting this up, because it's a lot, you know. Well, for one, if you're learning Ultimate Album Launch and you're going through the training, it's a big bulky training. It's definitely the biggest one we have. So that in and of itself is really time consuming. But yeah, anyway, hopefully that helps. Let me know if that helps, Katie. Barry said, "Hey, I'm in a similar position, holding off the launch date until I'm sure everything is set up." Yeah, man, that's great. Kind of what I'm saying. Katie said, "Yep, definitely. I've been stalling writing it all out because I know there's so much to do." Yeah, I totally get that. It's tempting to get kind of stuck in it and then, you know, not doing anything because it's overwhelming. So I would say the way to mitigate that and sort of move on to the next step is just by breaking things down into chunks. That would be my recommendation. And she said, "It's looking like August, so I can book a New Zealand tour, shoot videos, and setting all of this up online. I also really need to get a team behind me, because trying to do all of this on tour would be manic." Yeah, definitely. That's a crazy amount of that would be a crazy amount of stuff, especially with, you know, the inconsistency of internet access on tour. I've definitely been there in the past. It can be tough. So yeah, keep us in the loop, Katie. Feel free to hop on as many of these as you need, and you know, reach out to indies in the group on Facebook for support too. There's tons of indies in there who've worked on these album launches, and it's crazy. You know, we all kind of think that we have unique situations going on, but when you dive in and really see what other people are working on, we realize how similar our situations are to what other people are dealing with. So definitely reach out. You know, I'm sure that there's other people in there that are asking the same questions as you, or have gone through the same things as you, and can offer their advice and tips. So it's a great place. I always kind of I always sort of pitch the Indies group as a good place to hang out. For those of you who have been on Indies Live with me before, I always kind of say, like, make sure you hang out there and make sure you post stuff, because there's just a lot happening there, and people who are doing way cooler things than I am. There's people who are getting creative beyond the boundaries of what my brain can even understand. So it's dope. But yeah, anyway, my little sales pitch for the Indies group is over now. But awesome. I hope that this helps, and thanks for the question. That's good stuff. I'm going to refresh the page again here just in case anything last minute popped up in the comments. But let me know if you guys have any other questions. Thanks for participating and chiming in on what Katie's working with as well. It's super, super helpful. All right, no other comments here. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. Otherwise, we'll call it a day, and you'll be out in the wild and crushing it. I hope that all of this was helpful for you guys, and what we went over is, you know, useful for whatever it is you're working on. Guy, no problem, man. Great stuff. Congratulations on all the hard work. Keep on keeping on. You're doing a great job. I really dig what it is that you're working on. So stoked to see the results and the fruits of that labor. I'm sure it's going to be great. Alrighty, I'm gonna just check the chat one more time here, make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, gang. Well, if you don't have anything else for me, we'll call this Indies Live a wrap. Thanks for hanging out, Katie, Guy, Barry, and Dylan. It was great having y'all here, and I appreciate you chiming in, giving each other some ideas, giving me some stuff to look at. I'm glad that it was helpful, and it was always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. These Indies Lives are just a good time. I really enjoy going over what you guys are working on. I know the rest of the team feels the same way as well. We kind of cherish these Wednesday hangouts. So I appreciate you guys participating and coming on, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again, and I'll talk to y'all soon.